Yes, greetings, family. This is King Simon, and I'm glad to be here. First time I'm doing a live broadcast, and I'm happy to be here with you, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And I'm having a little technical difficulties, but it's all right. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. Trying to make sure everything goes well. Yes, we're gonna get through this. Like I said, we're having a little technical difficulties for my first broadcast, so I'm working. Trying to make sure everything goes well. Yes, we're gonna get through this. Like I said, we're having a little technical difficulties for my first broadcast, so I'm working. So yes, bear with me, family. Yeah, so bear with me, family. I'm here, and expecting to have Baba Valentine come up and work with us on this whole dynamics here of this broadcast. You know, um, I got to remember that there's delays on these types of broadcasts. There's a delay in this type of broadcast, so we're going through it right now, and I'm dealing with a lot of different things, but we're going to keep on working and continue with what we got to go and do what we have to do here. First and foremost, want to thank everybody for tuning in and keeping it live right here. And of course, like I said, we're here first time King Simon Presents, and we're going to have Baba Valentine with us. That's Dr. Phil Valentine will be with us live and direct. And I just want to make sure that we take the time out to, if you can get in, that's it. Beautiful. Get on in. We're going to have a good time. And like I said, Baba Valentine is going to have a great time with us also. You know, a lot of us don't, a lot of us may know by now that our great elder has passed on. And this is like going to be a three-part series dealing with the passing of Dr. Ben, the transitioning of Dr. Ben. And first, before we call Baba Valentine, I am going to read something that a dear friend of mine named Vanette K. Price wrote on a newspaper called The Caribbean Life. It's called African Caribbean Egyptologist Dr. Ben has died. The short list of Afrocentristic historians and scholars was shortened March 19th with the passing of Dr. Joseph Alfredo Antonio Ben Yakinen. Respected, beloved, and acclaimed throughout the Black community, Dr. Ben died at the age of 96. To those familiar with his perspective on Africa and his enlightening teachings about all things Egyptian, he was the acclaimed Egyptologist to fact check details pertaining to the history of Black people throughout Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. Reputedly born December 31st, 1918, in Puerto Rico to a mother named Julia Mata from that Caribbean island and an Ethiopian father named Christon Ben Yakinen. The scholar claimed birthright in Ethiopia. Reportedly, shortly after his birth, the family moved to St. Croix, Virgin Islands, where he grew up. What, what has been undisputed is that Dr. Ben was educated in Puerto Rico, Brazil, Cuba, and Spain. After earning a number of degrees in civil engineering, cultural anthropology, and Moorish history, he migrated to the United States of America in the early 1940s. How he emerged and go to authority on Egypt stems from his focus on studies about the Nile Valley, ancient civilizations, and their impact on Western culture. And while he talked with conviction about Cleopatra, the Sphinx, pyramids, and Kemet. He also walked the classical path for decades, guiding hundreds through educational tours to the region. Annually, Dr. Ben escorted African American, Caribbean nationals, and diverse groups of students through excursions that retracted the reign of pharaohs who ruled the ancient land, leading them through pyramids to examine relics, artifacts, and ancient landscapes. His sought after visits became the conscientious school of accreditation for multitudes. He was the author of 49 books, a devout proponent of Black thought dedicated to informing others that the original Jews were from Ethiopia and were Black African. He often argued that white Jews later adopted the Jewish faith and its customs. For that reason, the intellectual was branded controversial. Interesting. Now, that's just a part of what our sister Vanette K. Price, written. If you want to get more of it, you can check out the Afro-Caribbean Egyptologist Dr. Ben Has Died by Vanette K. Price. Very, very interesting information indeed. What I'm going to do now is give a call to our dear brother, Baba Phil Valentine, and we're going to check out what Phil has to say, and then we're going to make it happen right here on King Simon Present. This is my first time, so please excuse the technical difficulties. I am just trying to make sure everything goes well, and we do what we have to do to make sure all of you get proper information that's about to come out, okay? So I'm gonna call Baba Phil Valentine right now.
Greetings. This is Dr. Valentine.
Oh, went straight to voicemail.
Speak up and speak clearly when you.
Well, it went straight to voicemail, so I might as well just read the rest. Maybe he'll give me a call back. According to what our sister Vanette K. Price, she said, of course, although he was responsible, continuing with what I was reading earlier, although he was responsible for touching the lives of millions of Black people across the world, his accolades never really recognized by mainstream pundits who often claim a similar title. In 1945, Dr. Ben was appointed chairman of the African Studies Committee at the headquarters of the newly founded UNESCO, of course, or UNESCO, a position from which he reportedly relinquished in 1970. 5 years later, he began teaching Egyptology at Malcolm King College. He also taught at City College, and from 1976 to 1987, 1976 to 1987 was adjunct professor at Cornell University. Harlem was his home, and even late in his life, residents often saw him walking through the streets and entering and exiting the Schomburg's Library at 135th Street. In 2002, Dr. Ben donated his personal library of more than 3,500 volumes, or 35,000 volumes, pardon me, manuscripts and ancient scrolls to the Nation of Islam. Some of his most popular books included African Origins of Major Western Religion, Black Man of the Nile and His Family, We the Black Jews, Witnesses to the White Jewish Race Myth, Volume 1 and 2, Africa, Mother of Western Civilization, and the Myth of Exodus and Genesis, and the Exclusion of Their African Origin. He was a co-founder of the Association of the Studies of Classical African Civilization, ASCAP, an organization committed to the truthful reporting of African history. Ironically, at the time of his death, members of the organization were convening the 32nd annual Ancient Kemetic Studies Conference. From the Seattle, Washington meeting place, Council Director Professor Leonard Jeffers said, the group remains committed to its mission of providing a body of knowledge that continuously contributes to the rescue, reconstruction, and restoration of African history. Our people are now safeguarded in the afterlife by Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, Minister Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and many more of our greats, he added. The 8-member council of elders is convinced Dr. Ben fulfilled a duty purpose to Africa and Africans throughout the world. Although no official announcement has been made about his final rites of passage, it is likely Abyssinia Baptist Church will be the venue to memorialize the scholar. According to Wikipedia, the Central Harlem House of Worship, founded in 1809, is named after Ethiopia, now a landmark Harlem location, and its founding, it was the 3rd oldest Baptist church in America. Now, just to confirm what is happening is that on April the 9th and the 10th, it will be held at the Abyssinia Baptist Church. April 9th, he will be live in state at Abyssinia Baptist Church from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. So all you family members and friends and those that want to travel in, it will be from 4 to 8 p.m. on April 9th at the Abyssinia Baptist Church over there at Malcolm X Boulevard and Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard on 138th Street, I believe, or 135th. Don't quote me, but you can Google that up. Also on the 10th, the funeral service will be held at 9:30 in the morning at the Abyssinia Baptist Church. So make sure you make a note of it and make sure you come on out and let's celebrate the life and times of our great and our wonderful Dr. Ben Yakinen. Let me try calling Baba Phil Valentine up right now and see if we can get this interview in. And I hope he answers the phone this time. My dear brother Phil. Baba Valentine, are you all right?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you ready, my brother? Yes, we're doing it. We're here. We're here.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Well, I am honored to have you.
I'm on the road, so you might hear a little bit of car in the background. So.
No problem, sir. No problem. We'll work with you, whatever you want to do, brother. We're working with you. First and foremost, I want to say I'm honored to have Baba Phil Valentine, who is the author of The Wounded Womb. One of his great books out there. And he has a numerous amount of books. I know he has another book coming out, but The Wounded Womb is a stellar work that I enjoy so much. And of course, Baba Valentine, tell them about your website, brother. What's your website?
The website is uksnow.org. That's U as in United, K as in King, S as in Science, NOW.org.
Okay, and what is it that you do at that university that you have, brother?
Well, we teach to students, seekers from all around the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Our borders have expanded greatly,
yes,
due to technology, of course, and to a lot of the YouTubes and to a lot of just word of mouth.
Yes, sir.
And we're very grateful for technology. It's good sometimes, but then, of course, we have to be very mindful and careful about how we use it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And I know you have a lot of students, man. I've met a few of the students that are going there. Matter of fact, Brother Davis told me he goes there now. He's a part of your university. So,
yes, indeed.
Dear brother,
indeed.
Man. Dear brother. Very good brother. I introduced him to a lot of this world. Like he coming to the lectures, and it's through my lectures with you and bringing you out is how he met you and was able to join the university. So I'm so happy for that.
Beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
sir. Well, right now we're remembering Dr. Ben and what he meant to us. And I know you have had a long history with that brother. I know you used to have some great seminars at your own house. You used to have the Symposium of the Masters at your own house. And I know Dr. Ben was also one of the features at one time. Tell us your connection and what Dr. Ben meant to you, brother.
Oh, wow. There's not enough time, but I'm going to try to squeeze it in.
Okay, no problem. Yes, I know.
Calling the man a giant is actually not giving him enough of what it is that your heart really wants to say about him. Mm-hmm. There's so many stories that we have around him. We just know that he was a little warrior. He was the warrior, the one that spoke out, the one that called out all the racists, the Aryan model, the historians, and all of those who used what we call here twistery to try to bend people's will and mentality, their perceptions of self. It was he and those great masters like Dr. Clark and the ones here, Dr. Van Sertima, Dr. Jeffries, Dr. Smalls. These were my elders. These were my big brothers, the ones who gave me a sense of self, a sense of pride, a sense of culture, who made me look into, along with what my mother and my father gave me the best that they could. What they gave me was the foundation to go not just into the history, but into the mystery. Because it was because of Dr. Ben that I began pursuing the mystery. Of course, we know that he was, and now that he is, that he used to be, or was, a Mason, but not the ones that are over here. Right. I'm talking the 96 Memphite Mason, and we used to ask Dr. Ben, tell us more about the inner secret. And he would just hem and haw, and of course, not supposed to do that. He would tell us, go find it for yourself.
Exactly.
So it was through him and brothers like Kanya Kakumbe, Kanya Bashan McGee, and other entities like Dr. Clark, who was my mentor. And I have some really interesting experiences because it was at the time when Queen Afua and I were together, and we were the captains of the Heal Thyself Center, doing the work that we got a chance to actually interface with these giants. Right. Queen Mother Moore was our client. Dr. Clark was our client. Dr. Ben at one time, stubborn as he was about eating his pork and definitely eating the way he wanted to, was a client. And we sat at the feet of great masters. Yes, sir. Yes, and we knew them. And the thing is, we recognized them. We didn't take advantage or try to belittle or try to demean their contributions or try to twist it in any way. What they were doing for us, we respected, and we gave them all honors and due respect at the time they were here.
Yes, sir.
And due to people like Gil Noble, who also made this transition, we were able to see the greatness. Each one of us who knew Dr. Ben had a story with him. And I remember when he had his, and of course, being that we are doctors of naturopathic medicine, our experiences were mostly with him, dealing with him as a client, not just to get him to try, but he had his first heart attack. We went to his home at the time when he was there in Manhattan, I think around 72nd Street, I'm not sure, in that area, but it was a beautiful little apartment, he and his wife, and a caretaker, I believe, at the time. And we were trying to tell him, listen, Doc, you have to eat this and that, and you could see his face turn. he was not going to do. We say, listen, Papa, you have to do this, you have to do that. And the beauty of this is, no matter what it is we told him, he went back and did it anyway. But the testament is the genetic nature who he was as that Cushite, that Cushite genetics. No matter how much he abused his body, there is his ancestors said, listen, no matter how stubborn you are, we're going to keep you here. You got work to do, blah, blah, and so forth.
That's right. That's right.
He even, when he had his second attack, so he was in Texas, I believe, I'm not sure where I think it was Texas, and somebody said, listen, why don't we just get in contact with Clear Four and Dr. Valentine? And the gentleman said, Dr. Ben said, no, don't call them. Don't tell them. I have such great memories of this man. Oh, man, it was just so beautiful. And when we called him back, I said, Baba? And he said, all right, guess what is it? I'll try it. And, but, you just have to be there in that moment. You can't really recall it.
That's true.
You can only say what it is, but you can't have really experienced what that was like to be in the presence of these great men.
Mm-hmm. Well, brother Valentine, those who are just tuning in, we're here with Baba Phil Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine, the master of metaphysics, the founder of the underground metaphysics, here with us, and grandmaster. And there's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't like to really touch on this, but there's a lot of stuff going on with Kemet and religious debates and all that. And I know you was right there in the midst of it, and I know you understand why Dr. Ben was able to defend, and John Henry Clark was able to defend Africa and Kemet from their very soul and heart. What was it like watching them at their zenith doing those type of debates on television? With the Jewish community, Dr. Ben debated the Jews and a few other people. So what was it like watching them in their zenith doing what they did?
It was to be in awe.
Yes, sir.
To be in awe. I mean, you have to know what awe is and experience awe, and then be able to try to articulate it with the very few English words that might do it justice. You can't.
Right.
When I was sitting in the audience when Dr. Clark went up against this Jewish woman, and before she was over there ranting and raving, he spanked her with just his opening soliloquy, He's not even about debating. He doesn't even debate. He says, all others I teach. I debate only my equal. He didn't even look at her. And the whole audience broke out. I mean, and the chills you got.
Wow.
Just to know that you cannot go up against the masters and think that you're going to survive.
Wow.
Dealing with this amount of power.
Wow.
And the beauty of listening to them and what the experiences were. And the thing is, Dr. Ben himself was born as a Hebrew.
Right.
And he himself defended Chem. He brought about the fact that it was the Nubian, Kushite, Kemetic sciences, that Chem was an exemplification, that Chem was actually the synopsis, the agglomeration, the collaboration, the bringing together of a mindset from all over Africa, all over the world, in fact. And it just met at that point. And all the greatness, and this is not to say that the ancient Dravidians, the Kalarians, the civilizations of the Mohenjo-Daro, these people were just as great in theirs, but Kim had a library and a literary library at the time. And the thing that got to me, and again, when you get like this, it just gets so exciting, so beautiful.
Right.
Dr. Ben said to me, he said, to heck with that 6,000-year nonsense that these nations and the rest of them say about the fact that the pyramid was made 6,000 years ago. He said, Kemet was here way before that. The Nubians and the ancient ones. He said that the one king that they knew, and that was the so-called pharaoh or the Nesufiti Aha, at the time was 10,000 years ago.
Right.
10,000 years ago. So we, in honor of Dr. Ben, when we started our university in 2005, we started at that point. We stated that this is the year 10,000. And we started from there. And we knew, based upon all the records that they were unearthing, that it went back even further than that. But 25,000 years because of where the pyramid was built and the fact that the capstone pointed directly above the Polaris star and the Polaris star was right above the pyramid 25,000 years ago. So to say that it was 6,000 years is just as stupid and as ludicrous as everything else.
Right.
But these men, the Diops, Zach Sertivants, Chancellor Williams, the G.M. Jameses, all of these were giants who laid the foundation. Dr. Ben, they laid the foundation upon which we now are decorating the edifice. We didn't build it, they did.
Right.
And what we're doing now is decorating it, maintaining it, and trying to keep the integrity of it. We didn't have to be debating each other.
Right.
Dr. Ben didn't debate Dr. Clark.
That's right.
They were too much in collaboration with one another to bring about a truth.
Yes.
And again, I say that to the brothers and sisters. Debating is for the coming together of two different ideas so that they can join for the betterment of the community at large at the end of the debate.
Right.
Debates today are further stratifying us. They're there to just make money, and they're just there to pretend as if they're actually imparting knowledge, but what they're doing is just trading information like boxers trade blows. And this is not what learning is about. You do not learn in those conditions. You're being conditioned in those conditions.
Now,
and to understand that, people have to be quiet in their minds. Right now, people are too busy with too much noise in their heads about who's right and who's wrong.
Right. Now, I see that you have a contrasting view of what Professor Smalls would say. Now, Professor Smalls says that they've came with their own rhythm. It's not like the same way that y'all back in your day. These young people have come in with their own hip hop rhythm when it comes to this debate and these lecture circuits. What do you say to that type of that statement?
Well, he may see it his way, and I defer and give respect to what he says.
Right.
Maybe his interpretation of it is based upon his own personal experience of it.
Right, because he was there. He was one of the moderators. That's right.
Yes, and if he is a moderator at that particular place, and what comes out of that debate now, at the end of that debate, a referendum or some kind of point-by-point future activities that are to be implemented on behalf of the community,
Right.
But to debate, just to debate, so that information now becomes either relevant for the person who is trying to use the information as a weapon or as some kind of recruitment tool.
Right.
I'm not playing in those games. And today's kids, the attention span is that big.
Yes.
And to get children into studying and to go into the kind of research mind necessary to dig out the information and then to crunch the data in your mind, cross-reference it with other books that you've read or other information that you've accumulated. No, that type of learning is no longer there.
Right.
Children are just taking quantum bits of information, cutting and pasting it, and then saying, I know what this means. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
It cannot work that way. None of your great masters ever did that. In fact, in ancient Kemet, it took 45 years before you graduated.
Wow.
So how are you going to come out with a little page, get your little stool and whatever it is after you've done it for maybe 10, 15 years and expect to know? I don't know. I never claimed to know. And you've never heard me say, follow me anywhere.
True.
That's why the debating platforms today is to get followers. Period. And to think that, and again, it's a nuance. It's a very subtle nuance, family. It's not something that you're going to see right away.
Right.
The ramifications of this type of information and knowledge exchange and the detriment to quality is not going to show up now because there's too much heat. There's too much excitement involved. But as the heat dies down, as you begin to see things begin to start separate the place, what are you going to be left with?
I remember when you was at the lecture that I produced with you and your beautiful Empress. Please send her the greetings, please. That I know at the end you and Brother Sanetta got into it because your premise was and still is that if nothing comes out of it as far as unity, then it's no good. It's null and void. Got it.
Mhm.
And I understand that. And I've seen certain things happening, and I see a certain form of unity that from amongst the Hebrew, especially Hebrew camp, they came together, sir. And we're trying to make sure that the Kemetic camp stay together. And but I hope and I pray, because I purposely at this last debate, Baba Phil, I purposely wore a FOI jacket. So I just to keep, I just want to keep neutral, and I
Mhm.
did security, help do security, help maintain the crowd control, just to show that respect. And then I got on stage, brother, and said, Khalid used to say, regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one God. That's what Dr. Khalid used to
Mhm.
say. And
Mhm.
when I said that, I mentioned Ben Amin and I mentioned Yahweh Ben Yahweh and saluted them like Khalid and the ministers would have done, because they used to sit down with these people when I was in the nation. They used to sit down and talk to these people. This kind of
Mhm.
arguing, and that's why when I got off the stage, a lot of the Hebrew brothers and sisters came to me for even shouting those people out, and they showed me respect. And it's about that unity. And I told them it's not about what labels we call ourselves. It's about this beautiful melanated skin that we're in. At
Mhm.
the end of the day.
Mhm.
So, but
Indeed.
that's neither here nor
Indeed.
there. That's what I try to do at the place. But we're going back to Dr. Ben and what he meant to us. Brother, one of my first books I read from Dr. Ben was The Chronology of the Bible.
Yes. Mhm.
And I know you got this in your collection. You've read over
Oh
35,000
yes.
books. I don't even.
Not thousands. 3,500.
Okay. 3,500.
3,500.
Okay,
Not 35,000.
I thought it was thousands. I thought it was thousands, sir.
No.
I,
Don't work like that.
I don't know if you can still find this book.
I still be reading.
I know your book is big enough, sir. But I really enjoy it. Oh, I know you got something coming out. So, but,
yeah,
it's
I have not had the time. I'm waiting for the universe to allow me
yes, sir.
the waters of doing,
Uh-huh.
so that I can get some time to do what I'm doing here.
Right.
But yeah, the book is called Cosmic Codex, Book of the Earth.
Yes.
And it's a mixture and a combination of the unraveling of history.
Yes, sir.
And putting together the metaphysical components of life and understanding and understanding what they mean. Wow. Let me just really back the track real quick before we go forward on the next topic.
Please.
The Kemetic community has never been apart. You said something very interesting, that the Hebrew community got together.
Yes.
Well, I'm very happy for that.
Okay.
But the Kemetic community has never been apart. I have always, deferred and give respect to Baba Eru.
Yes.
Bring respect to Brother Kafra, yes. Brother Infundishi. Yes. We've never had no problems with one another. We are on one accord, you see, because we as the Kemetic community are dealing with science and not belief. We're not dealing with belief in any of these predisposed prophets. What we're doing is breaking down what the essentials of our ancestors were. And all the symbolism that they gave us was to mask that there are forces of the mind and of the universe that they have put or cloaked in these anthropomorphic figures. And when you understand what these figures mean, you understand and you know that there ain't no gods walking around with an ibis head, and there ain't no God walking around with a dog head and a human body.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. Right. We're dealing with the highest sciences masked in things and symbols that have meaning.
Okay.
So we don't need no prophets. We don't need no messiahs. We don't need no patriarchs. We don't need any of those.
Right.
All we do is study the deepest relevant answers, and we know what they mean in the symbolism of ancient camp. So we have never had any problems with each other. Okay. Never. Yeah, so we've always been together. It's just that we're disparate. We have, just like different temples used to be in Kemet.
Right.
They used to have the temple to Luxor, the temple at Menpatah. They had the temple of Eteru, the temple of As. All these were different temples that were teaching about the ancient sciences. But did you say that they were arguing with one another? Right. No. That they weren't together? No. Right. Nah. It was nothing like that.
Okay, well, pardon me, because I maybe I'm dealing with the younger generation thinking that they're, because I know sometimes they've debated amongst themselves in certain things, but
yes, the younger generation who are taking on the names, which we're very happy that they're doing, and they're taking on the names, they're taking on the persona, they're studying it, and that's so wonderful.
Right.
But taking on again the angst. What colors are you wearing? And what I'm putting on this, and
Okay.
it's a kind of a thing that doesn't exist. It's not real.
Right.
It's only as real as those who are playing that game.
Right.
And others are not playing that game.
But it's
the young people that's playing it.
Well, in their defense, I see they're trying to work a lot of things out, but they're trying to connect with some of the elders themselves. Like for this tribute that we're doing on the 19th of April. We have Baba Haru going to be there, Brother Reggie, Professor Smalls, Infadishi, Dr. Jeffries, Booker T. Coleman. Professor Kaba, Taj Tariq Bey is supposed to be there, Brother Polite, and I know they try to get. They got Brother Shaka Amos that's going to be there. A lot of them was. Especially Shaka and Reggie, they were young people amongst y'all back in the day. I know that.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Well, Shaka is his grandson, isn't he?
Say it again.
That's his grandson.
Oh, that's whose grandson?
Dr. Ben.
Shaka Akmos is Dr. Ben's grandson?
I believe so.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that because I know his mother was very active back in the day, and I know that, and I know she lives in Ghana now. That's what I recall watching him.
Yeah, I have to remember. I'm trying to figure and see if this is who he is.
Okay. Well,
but don't quote me.
Okay, don't quote you on it.
That's who he is. I believe that he is he's a member of the family.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, we won't quote you on that. We'll make sure.
Wait a minute. That's Shaka. You talking about the brother with the
yes,
with the fetlock?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, no. I'm thinking about somebody else.
Oh, you think about somebody?
My
okay.
bad.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, that brother. I love that brother. I love what he do.
Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah. He is something. He is definitely taking it to a whole new colorful level. I love it.
Oh man, 40 minutes after the hour, and of course we're here with Baba Valentine. This is my first broadcast, so I'm not going to take any calls. We're going to keep on talking about Dr. Ben because, of course, I wish you was in town for this one because, April 9th and 10th, we're going to be at the Abyssinian Baptist Church, and that's where they're going to do all the celebration and everything coming up at the Abyssinian Baptist Church. So that's what's going to happen on April 9th and April 10th. Let me just tell them that April 9th, they're going to be the wake or the viewing will take place where he'll lie in state from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem. And then on April the 10th, there will be the funeral or the remembrance of our great Dr. Ben. And that's going to be from 9:30. And then the repast will be at the National Black Theater, Barbara Ann Tears National Black Theater. Baba Valentine, we wish you was there, man. I know it's going to be powerful, brother.
Oh, I would want to be there, definitely. I am going to be definitely trying my best to get there.
Yes, sir.
Finance, funds, and the whole 9 yards.
Yes, sir.
Like that tend to stymie our progress.
Right.
But again, we're a kind of mom and pop institution.
Right.
And we're doing our best to upgrade our ability to bring more information or better information and so forth. We want to upgrade everything that we're doing,
yes,
so that we can put a very good program together, better the program that we have.
Right. Well, I'm definitely proud of you, brother, because I've known you since '94, actually. So, and probably a little earlier than that, to tell you the truth. But
indeed.
And like I always say to people, you're the one that gave me the exemption papers for my children not to get vaccinated back in those days. So I am so honored for that. I know my children are happy too. So, I try to give them your number, because I got 2 grandchildren now from my 2 boys that were exempt from vaccines. So I know I gave one of them your number and I gave the other one your number. So I hope they took a chance to call. I don't know if they did, because I know sometimes it depends on the mothers. And if you're dealing with a certain woman that don't understand that, they'll do what they have to do. But back to Dr. Ben, there's another book that I have here with Dr. Ben, and I just want you to tell me something of what this meant to us when it came. This book is called Africa, Mother of Western Civilization. When that book came,
that just blew everything out the water.
Yes, sir.
That blew everything out the water. They hated him after that one. The Jews, whites, everybody started coming after him. This is when they talked about the so-called African American feel good history,
Right.
you know, and you know this is them coming out, and this is when they started bringing out their lapdogs to counter everything he said. But everything he said in that book could not be refuted,
Right.
and that made them even more angry. So what they would do then is attack the community at large instead of attacking the actual premise and the science that was within those pages.
Right.
And other books that were that so-called the Afrocentric, they call it, the Afrocentric movement that Brother Jeffries and everyone was doing up at New York Community College. And of course, the information in there regarding the fact that there was a civilization that preceded European civilization. In fact, it gave European civilization everything it did. I mean, breaking down all of this, the Songhai, all of the great civilizations of Africa that were in existence before the European, that then completely diminished the so-called superiority claim that they have to civilization. And when they started breaking, when he broke down everything regarding what it was that the Nile, how the Nile came to be, where they came from, the foot of the mountain of the moon, they couldn't deny it.
Right.
And every time, and what they were going up against, and here's the beauty of it, they were going up against what was called the Aryan model. Everybody get used to that, the Aryan model of history. That came in the late 18, right there at the beginning of the 19th century.
Yes, sir.
And the Aryan model was to completely debunk or to destroy all evidence of indigenous people's claim to civilization before the European came. So everything that happened in the Aryan model was to change all of the skulls, all of the mummified remnants, the facial features and structures, especially when the noses were straight. That's when they introduced, when the so-called Afrocentric movement came in, they began to start claiming that they couldn't refute the color because of Diop breaking down, and I believe it was Dr. Jeffries was there, Diop in France, when they completely destroyed the Aryan model. But what they did was they showed that the nose structures, the little nose structures, the facial features that the Europeans claimed were white, could be found all over East Africa. And along that particular part, especially where it's talking about the Levant and where they came from in the Levant, and that these were Caucasians that came out in the Neanderthals, meandered into Africa, and this is where you get white Egypt. And so all of this nonsense was being refuted. I mean, just completely blown away.
Right.
And so they attacked the man, they attacked the actual grouping of professors and academicians, and lumped them into this new curse word called Afrocentrism.
Wow, man.
And that's where they came from.
Well, you know, we got 14 minutes before we get off of air. You know, Brother Valentine, I know this would probably take you know, there's so much you can just expound upon.
I don't know what it is you got there to just vet it, but there's so much.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know where to start, what to say. You know, because these men have done so much that it is incalculable to think what it is that they've done. You just have to be in the experience of them.
Right.
You can't say that this is this is that. You have to be in the experience of these great men.
Right. You know, in this last few moments that we have together, brother, what would you say to those people that are still caught up in religion with respect to if they decided to learn this, how would it make them either better religious people or let them have a better understanding of who they are connected to the original, to the creator?
Beautiful. In our school, if you were to go to the website I gave you, uksnow.org.
Yes, sir.
Not just our average brothers and sisters, but our above average brothers. I'm talking about NBA superstars, music superstars. We have professors.
Yes.
We have people who are in all forms, all walks of life, from around the world who come to our university. And some of them have left their impressions and experiences there on our website. And we have dozens more that we haven't posted.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to go to our website at uksnow.org and just click where it says what students say,
okay.
and just read a few of the blurbs, you get an idea of what it is that I could say to those people, but would have been said better by the people who experienced it themselves. When you leave religion alone, because religion is for some. When you're wayward, when you're on the street, when you're on drugs, and you have no centering or stable thing that you can trust or you can believe in, then yes, if you have nothing else and you have not done your due diligence and you need leadership, you crave leadership, or you crave to defer your own principles of judgment that have led you down the wrong path. Yeah, but religion then centralizes your thinking for you so that you have a purpose. You have things that you do, because mostly in these Christian religions, it's usually the people who are the doers are the people who have been the dregs of society, who have fallen so low that Christianity was there with a cup of soup for them. So of course it's going to be the place that they're going to give their attention and their allegiance to.
Right.
But then there are those who have stepped out of the belief frame of mind and said that, wait a minute, there is something greater than just the sum of these parts.
Right.
You have to take it beyond that. And so at the university, we teach them to come into the knowledge of the original temple, where all knowledge is then sequestered, and that is within you.
Right.
And then we give them certain reference points called metaphysics, but it's not metaphysics to those who are in our university. It's metaphysics, METER. The study of the physics of the gods, the physics of nature.
Right.
The study of the physics of you, your own inner nature. So metaphysics is what we speak about in our university. Metaphysics is what we do because of the commonality of the word and what in people's minds already is associated with it. So in metaphysics and metaphysics, you come into the understanding of what the ancestral adept masters knew all along. And that is the greatness, that which you seek, you already have. You are already that. And just to come into the knowledge of that, you have to strip away all of the dogma. In fact, in the Mahabharata, and actually the Bhagavad Gita of your ancient Polarian ancestors who did the Vedas, they said that once you know the truth, then all the disputations of creeds and ecclesiasticism and all of that mean nothing, because you know that you are one with the very thing that those religions pretend to have access to.
Wow. Brother, I know it's hard trying to convince some of these people, brother. I've been down this road, brother. I mean, I've been through the schools.
Many are called.
Yeah, yes. I've been through the schools. Now, and we got 9 more minutes, 9 more minutes before we finish. Dr. Ben spent his lifetime, although people say he was an Ethiopian Jew, and Falasha, and his father was of that. What did you, in his dissertations back in the day, what did he explain, and the connection between Kemet and Hebrew and Islam and all that? What was that connection?
Well, he told me personally that the Hebrew was the Alibu, a nomadic tribe that came out of the return of a Cushitic people that were part of the Indus Kush, the cousins of ancient Kemet.
Right.
And that they were a nomadic tribe, and that they came through, and all of what they learned based upon Ethiopia, because Ethiopia always saw Kemet as a child.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And so then, and Nubia was one of the sisters of ancient Kemet. So he was speaking about the fact that no matter what it is that they were teaching, it was consolidated and made perfected in ancient Kemet. And that when they went, the so-called Adibu, or the Iyu, who was from the Iyu tribe, who came into Kim, they came in there pretty much with just, some of the shepherd songs and different things that they learned in myths and legends. But when they left out of Chem, they had all this science. They had a language of the mystics.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm driving, and this person stops in the middle of the lane.
I understand, brother. I know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's no problem.
Yeah, I get kind of crazy like that. I don't like stupidity on the road, especially. It's dangerous.
I thought for a moment you was in New York, sir.
That's what my wife always says. You drive like you're in New York. These people don't think like that. And they're old down here. I said, nah, I got New York in me. You don't move.
Oh, well, no,
sorry about that. Didn't mean to break it up.
It's all right, brother. It's all right. Well, we got like another 6 minutes, and I just want you to big up your website again and the number that people can reach you, brother. Please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's all good, everybody.
All good.
My number is 800-847-1291, and I'm sorry about the scattered way that I'm actually speaking to you today, because there's so much happening around me, and Brother King Simon was kind enough to invite me to participate in this incredible time that we're honoring such a great man who has now enriched the realm of the ancestors with his presence. But if you are interested in getting into yourself and becoming part of those who are into the knowledge, or get deeper into the knowledge of self, but they don't teach you in other colleges and other schools, then check us out, because we may be having our summer semester beginning in May. We're going to start our recruitment for the summer semester. So you can call 800-847-1291. Again, 800-847-1291. Or you can go up to uksnow.org and click where it says courses, and then scroll down to where it says metaphysical psychology. We also teach classical naturopathy, which is the philosophy of natural healing, the higher philosophy, or pretty much the highest philosophy of natural healing, dealing with Kemetic Science. So if you're interested, we're still doing the vaccination exemptions, even though they're getting harder to get. We're still going to fight for that, and we do consultations in nutrition, and we do have that consultations dealing with Juice Plus and our therapeutic grade essential oils. We have a lot of things happening, family. And we're just happy that the people now, even though the young people are used, kind of at each other's throats, they're at each other's throats over things that are relevant. It's how to apply what it is that you have in your hands now, how to assimilate this high knowledge that your ancestors left you, no matter what you call yourself. You have to call yourself whatever it is that you are at your essential level. Because I don't care if you're a Hebrew Israelite, if you're a Kemite, I don't care if you're FOI. You walk down the street, they still gonna call you a nigger. All right? And if we don't understand that that's the commonality that bonds us together against a common enemy, then we're gonna be fighting amongst ourselves, and that's how they got us the last time. They are arming one side to annihilate the other. We got to stop that. We got to come together, and don't be giving any kind of solutions in public. Don't be telling people what you're getting ready to do. It's not necessary. The Jews don't get up there and say, listen, all you Jews, here's what we're getting ready to do.
That's right.
The Italians don't say, yo, let's get the Italians need to get together and do. No.
That's right.
When you want to do something strategic to uplift your people, or even just your small part of your community, get those who are the brain trust, the dark matter think tank, and go behind closed doors.
That's right.
And use your intellect in the dark. That's what they tell you, to fast in the dark.
That's right.
So you go into your closet and you do your planning there. Don't be bragging about what you're getting ready to do and then put it on there so people can buy it up. And then everybody who's got intel, COINTELPRO is all around you. They get to know what you're doing. And no, That's not how it's done.
Well, Baba, we got 2 more minutes, and you're the one that allowed me to use the symposium again of the Master Symposium, and I'm honored, of course. And I would like to use that dark matter think tank, if you don't mind. I like that. I need that. That needs to be a secret thing going on. You're right. You're absolutely right, brother. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I tried to get the dark matter think tank about 10 years ago, and you can hear it in some of the videos that I did with Brother Sarnetta.
Yes.
I wanted to get that started at that point, but I'm glad that hopefully, you can pick it up and go with it, because we have our own dark matter think tank right now, and we're very quietly working towards a betterment for our people.
Well, I will definitely work on developing that, and come to you, and in our own time, and deal with that. Once again, I want to thank you, Baba Valentine, for allowing me to take up some of your time, and doing my first show actually on Google Hangouts and YouTube, brother. I didn't think of anybody else that I could do it with, but you first, brother. And I know
it's been my pleasure. You did a great job.
Thank you,
you
sir.
Did an exceptional job.
Thank you. I'm trying to get on BAI, so I'm working on that next. So, brother, so get ready. Tell him I sent you. I don't. Well, you drive safely, my brother, and thank you very much. All right, Hotep. That was our brother, Baba Phil Valentine. I want to say Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Irie to everybody. Remember, go to his website, uksnow.org. That's uksnow.org. Or give him a call at 800-847-1291. That's 800-847-1291. And I'm going to start that dark matter think tank. You think I've been doing a Master Symposium? I'm going to start that dark matter think tank. There's no recording for that one. So you know what it is. Like I said, check out Baba Phil Valentine. I want to thank him for being a part of this and starting off my first show. I don't know how it came out. I hope people got to tune in and listen in. And I'm going to see if I can repost it and make sure everybody get to check it out. I want to thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for tuning in all over the world. I want to thank Brother Sarnetta, Brother Polite, and of course our event that's happening on Sunday, April the 19th. That's coming up. That's a tribute to Dr. Ben. That's going to be big. And come get the tickets at Nicholas Brooklyn and Nicholas Harlem, and also on 2012stores.com. Also coming up, we got on April 5th, we got Zaza Ali with a guest appearance by Professor Griff and Brother Tad Cromwell from out of Straight Black Pride. And then, of course, Dr. Africa is coming in April 24th, 25th, and 26th with some special guests, because we're doing a fundraiser for Nicholas and the whole family. We're doing that big fundraiser. So log in, keep in touch with me, King Simon Productions at gmail.com, or King Simon Productions at Instagram, King Simon Productions at Facebook, or you can also give me a call at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Love and honor to Dr. Ben all the time. And don't forget, April 9th and April 10th, we're going to give him a great celebration send-off to the ancestors at Abyssinia Baptist Church. April 9th, it'll be from 4 to 8 p.m. And then April 10th will be from 9:30 a.m. And then the repast will be at the National Black Theater. Once again, family, thank you very much for tuning in to my hangout. And thank you for hanging out with me right here on Google and doing what we got to do. King Simon Present is out of here. Thank you very much, family.
You can call 800-847-1291. Again, 800-847-1291. Or you can go up to uksnow.org and click where it says courses. And then scroll down to where it says metaphysical psychology. We also teach classical naturopathy, which is the philosophy of natural healing. The higher philosophy, or pretty much the highest philosophy of natural healing. Dealing with Kemetic Science. So if you're interested, we're still doing vaccination exemptions. even though they're getting harder to get. We're still going to fight for that. And we do consultations in nutrition, and we do have that consultation dealing with Juice Plus and our therapeutic grade essential oils. We have a lot of things happening in the family. And we're just happy that the people now, even though the young people are used, kind of at each other's throats, they're at each other's throats over things that are relevant. It's how to apply what it is that you have in your hands now. How to assimilate this high knowledge that your ancestors left you, no matter what you call yourself. You have to call yourself whatever it is that you are at your essential level. Because I don't care if you're Israelite, if you're a Kemite, I don't care if you're FOI. You walk down the street, you don't call you a nigga. All right? And if we don't understand that that's the commonality that bonds us together against a common enemy, then we will be fighting amongst ourselves, and that's how they got us the last time. They got only one side to annihilate the other. We got to stop that. We got to come together and don't be giving any kind of solutions in public. Don't be telling people what you're getting ready to do. It's not necessary. The Jews don't get up there and say, listen, all you Jews, this is what we're getting ready to do. The Italians don't say, yo, let's get the Italians need to get together and no. When you want to do something strategic to uplift your people, even just your small part of your community, get the those who are the brain trust, the dark night of think tank, and go behind closed doors and use your intellect in the dark. That's what they tell you, the fast in the dark. That's right. So you go into your closet and you do your planning there. Don't be bragging about what you're getting ready to do and then put it on there so people can buy it up, and then everybody who's got it tell going around till they get to know what you're doing. No. That's how it's done.
Well, Baba, you got 2 more minutes, and you're the one that allowed me to use the symposium again of the Master Symposium, and I'm honored, of course. And I would like to use that dark matter think tank, if you don't mind. I like that. I need that. And that needs to be a secret thing going on. You're right. You're absolutely right. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I tried to get the dark matter think tank about 10 years ago. And you can hear it in some of the videos that I did with Brother Sarnetta.
Yes.
I wanted to get that started at that point. But I'm glad that hopefully you can pick it up and go with it. So we have our own dark matter think tank right now. And we're very quietly working towards a betterment for our people.
But I will definitely work on developing that, and come to you and in our own time and deal with that. Once again, I want to thank you, Baba Valentine, for allowing me to take up some of your time and doing my first show actually on Google Hangouts and YouTube, brother. I didn't think of anybody else that I could do it with but you. And I know.
It's been my pleasure. You did a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get on BAI, so I'm working on that next. So, brother, so get ready.
Tell them I sent you.
I don't. Well, you drive safely, my brother. And thank you very much. All right. Hotep. That was our brother, Baba Phil Valentine. Want to say Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Iri to everybody. Remember, go to his website, uksnow.org. That's uksnow.org. Or give him a call at 800-847-1291. That's 800-847-1291. And I'm going to start that dark matter think tank. You think I've been doing a master symposium? I'm going to start that dark matter think tank. There's no recording for that one. So you know what it is. Like I said, check out Baba Phil Valentine. I want to thank him for being a part of this and starting off my first show. I don't know how it came out. I hope people got to tune in and listen in. And I'm going to see if I can repost it and make sure everybody gets to check it out. I want to thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for tuning in all over the world. I want to thank Brother Sarnetta, Brother Polite, and of course, our event that's happening on Sunday, April the 19th. That's coming up. That's a tribute to Dr. Ben. That's going to be big. And come get the tickets at Nicholas Brooklyn and Nicholas Harlem, and also on 2012stores.com. Also coming up, we got on April 5th, we got Zaza Ali with a guest appearance by Professor Griff and Brother Tad Cromwell from out of Straight Black Pride. And then, of course, Dr. Africa is coming in April 24th, 25th, and 26th with some special guests. So we're doing a fundraiser for Nicholas and the whole family. We're doing that big fundraiser. So log in, keep in touch with me, King Simon Productions at gmail.com, or King Simon Productions at Instagram, King Simon Productions at Facebook, or you can also give me a call at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Love and honor to Dr. Ben all the time. And don't forget, April 9th and April 10th, we're going to give him a great celebration send-off to the ancestors at Abyssinia Baptist Church. April 9th will be from 4 to 8 p.m. And then April 10th will be from 9:30 a.m. And then the repast will be at the National Black Theater. Once again, family, thank you very much for tuning in to my hangout. Thank you for hanging out with me right here on Google and doing what we got to do. King Simon Present is out of here. Thank you very much, family.
Semester beginning in May, we're going to start our recruitment for the summer semester. So you can call 800-847-1291. Again, 800-847. At the date now, at the end.
Schomburg's Library at 135th Street. In 2002, Dr. Ben donated his personal library of more than 3,500 volumes, or 35,000 volumes, manuscripts and ancient scrolls to the Nation of Islam. Some of his most popular books included African Origins of Major Western Religions, Black Man of the Nile and His Family, We the Black Jews, Witnesses to the White Jewish Race Myth, Volume 1 and 2, Africa, Mother of Western Civilization, and the Myth of Exodus and Genesis, and the Exclusion of Their African Origins. He was a co-founder of the Association of the Studies of Classical African Civilization, ASCAP. Yes, greetings, family. This is King Simon, and I'm glad to be here. First time I'm doing a live broadcast, and I'm happy to be here with you, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And I'm having a little technical difficulties, but it's all right. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. Trying to make sure everything goes well. Yes, we're gonna get through this, like I said. We're having a little technical difficulties for my first broadcast. So I'm working. Make sure everything goes well. Yes, we're gonna get through this, like I said. We have a little technical difficulties. My first broadcast. So I'm working. So yes, bear with me, family. Yeah, so bear with me, family. I'm here, and expecting to have Baba Valentine come up and work with us on this whole dynamics here of this broadcast. You know, you got to remember that there's delays on these types of broadcasts. There's a delay in this type of broadcast, so we're going through it right now, and I'm dealing with a lot of different things, but we're going to keep on working and continue with what we got to go and do what we have to do here. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and keeping it live right here. And of course, like I said, we're here first time King Simon Presents, and we're going to have Baba Valentine with us. That's Dr. Phil Valentine will be with us live and direct. And I just want to make sure that we take the time out to, if you can get in, that's it. Beautiful. Get on in. We're going to have a good time. And like I said, Baba Valentine is going to have a great time with us also. You know, a lot of us don't. A lot of us may know by now that our great elder has passed on, and this is like going to be a 3-part series dealing with the passing of Dr. Ben, the transitioning of Dr. Ben. And first, before we call Baba Valentine, I am going to read something that a dear friend of mine named Vinette K. Price wrote on a newspaper called The Caribbean Life. It's called African Caribbean Egyptologist Dr. Ben has died. The short list of Afrocentristic historians and scholars was shortened March 19th with the passing of Dr. Yosef Alfredo Antonio Ben Yakin. Respected, beloved, and acclaimed throughout the Black community, Dr. Ben died at the age of 96.